Welcome to Gutter Trash episode 204. How I ended this summer. My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Really?
How about you?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I probably should have taken a bathroom break before we started doing this.
I feel like you got a pee-pee?
I gotta pee. I can hold it, I think.
Yeah?
I think I'll make it.
Till the break?
Till the break, yeah. If it hits me really bad, though, forgive the abruptness of this segment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I'll do okay.
Sweet. Well, we did drink more liquids than normal today.
That is true.
It's been a while since we've had beers on the podcast.
Yeah, it is.
But we broke that streak.
Yeah. I've mostly given up drinking, but I don't know. When you mentioned that you might get a beer, I kind of thought that sounded okay.
It feels like a beer day.
Yeah, kind of.
And it's a little chilly, a little relaxed.
Yeah.
It's just, it's perfect weather for a beer. Like, I've never been one of those, like, drinking in the summer, partying kind of drinkers.
No.
I've been, like, alone in the cold, drinking in the basement of my mom's house. You know, that sort of real happy depression beer drinking.
Yeah, I'm not big on the whole cold beer refreshment kind of thing.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
No, yeah, it's not a refreshing beverage to me.
Hecky nah.
Or whatever you said. Yeah, more for a I like a nice bonfire kind of beer. You know, there's a chill out.
Right.
You know, but it's not too cold to not be outside. You know, fall, early spring kind of thing.
It's kind of today. That is kind of today. Yeah. Well, that was perfect. I'm glad we got some beers.
Yeah, too bad we couldn't start a fire.
I was around the fire today, but, no beers were around the fire.
Okay.
So I had to postpone the beer.
Yeah. I remember one time I went to a cookout of some sort when I was working at Kinko's.
Mm-hmm.
My department head decided to throw like a party at his house, and he had a bonfire in the back and tons of beer and some good food, and it was kind of okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have never been to one of these bonfire things.
So yeah.
Never.
I had another friend, a guy by the name of Ryan Merrill, who occasionally listens, and if Ryan Merrill is listening, woo! And he owned a house out in a shitty neighborhood in Dayton, directly behind a nightclub.
Okay.
And he would occasionally have a bonfire, and it would be pretty awesome.
What nightclub, do you know?
Cannot remember that for the life of me.
Yeah, okay.
It is right off of, God damn it, Jefferson?
Oh, okay.
You know where like,
It's not Canal Street or
it's not, no, not that.
Night Owl or...
No. Man, okay, do you know where Chicken Louie's is?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you know where Four River Place was?
Nope.
Do you know of River Place?
I know Dayton.
Uh-huh.
That's about as far into the city as I know.
It's, okay, if you're downtown and there's that weird sculpture of the first flight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you keep going down that road towards, like, the stadium.
Okay.
And then you cross over the bridge.
Over the bridge, okay.
Yeah.
Used car lot on the right.
Yep. Just past the used car lot
Okay.
was a nightclub.
I think it went out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been
Okay.
a few years ago.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
he
Okay, it's
lived,
right over there.
Pretty much right behind
That's a
it.
crappy neighborhood.
Oh, it's a shitty neighborhood.
Sorry, Ryan. Woo! I don't even know what the woo means.
It's just whenever we would go out and drink,
Okay.
we would just say his full name and woo.
Okay. Sweet.
Because he's Ryan Merrill. And he's awesome.
Well, that's awesome.
And too bad he's dead.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just go out and say it over the air when people are dead.
Eh.
You need to.
Well, he might be alive, but as far as I'm concerned, he's dead. He doesn't live in Ohio anymore, so.
He's dead to you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't work with him anymore, so,
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, I didn't hang out with him when I stopped working with him, so, Yeah, all those people are dead.
That's depressing.
Every former coworker of mine, dead.
I used to be a coworker of yours. That's depressing for me.
So, anyhow, this movie
How I ended this summer.
is... This movie is made of boring.
Oh.
It is made out of a giant pile of boring.
Oh. I'm guessing I liked it more than you did.
I'm guessing you did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You thought it was boring.
I thought it was incredibly boring.
Start to finish?
Start?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there were slow parts. But the first 30, 40 minutes, I would not agree with that.
Really?
Yeah. I loved the beginning. And I liked the rest.
All I know is that I had to take a restroom break.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put the movie on pause. And my heart broke when I discovered that we had only been watching it for an hour. And that there was still an hour left.
Oh.
I was not looking forward to starting that thing back up.
Man. Oh. Should we go through the little synopsis here?
Oh, okay. It's two guys. They're meteorologists, apparently. I don't know about you, but the only way I know about that is because I had to look it up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they actually say what the fuck they're up there for.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. There's one who's been there for a while and one who's just sort of like a glorified intern, I guess.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And they both treat each other like shit. The end.
Well, one of them, the older guy, the one that's been there a while, he seems to not really like the little newcomer who's like, he's only there for the, so he can write a little paper about his experience.
Right.
And so the other guy sort of resents, like, how, like, half-hearted he's probably going to take things.
Right. I think he's also there to, like, test out some sort of piece of technology.
Like, whatever computer stuff he's doing.
Yeah,
right.
And yeah, so he doesn't treat the new guy too well.
But I mean, sort of he does. It's sort of like an uncle that gives you a hard time because you don't know how to do anything.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not terrible yet. Well, I guess he really never is terrible. But he is. He's a jerk to the new guy. More often than not. He does like try to reach out and like, teach him things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's more like he's frustrated because he realizes the kid's not cut out for that.
Right.
And they're stuck up there together for months with just the two of them.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned they're in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Russian Arctic. Yeah,
Even worse.
This is a Russian movie. They speak the Russian. They are in Russia. Letters are backwards.
Yeah, we just thought we were running a Nine Inch Nails live video. So we saw a backwards N on there, and we were like, oh, cool.
You know, that could be why I found this movie so boring.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to watch a Nine Inch Nails concert. And it was some Russian drama about the Arctic.
Yeah. You know, I could see how, you know.
So the older guy does sort of like loosen up a little bit and leaves like some responsibility to the new kid,
Right.
and decides to go on a fishing trip by himself, leaving the new kid to watch over the station.
For like a day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's part of one of my problems with this movie.
Uh-huh.
Is that the passage of time in it is wonky.
Oh, yeah.
I never felt like there was any real clear, notion of how much time actually passes.
Right.
Especially when, they sleep for only like 3 hours at a time and there's no nighttime.
That might be part of what they were trying to convey, though. I mean, like the characters might have that same sort of feeling.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't want to necessarily feel everything that they're feeling.
Right.
Because as much as I like to dismiss a Christopher Nolan, and I know that this is a remake of another movie, but I thought Insomnia got that pretty well. The whole, not really sure what day it is, what time of day it is, kind of, feeling that you get when the sun never sets.
Right.
Until it starts setting at the end. So while the guy's out on a fishing trip, they get a radio message basically saying that his family was in a serious accident, and they leave a message to be passed on. And pretty much the rest of the movie is about the fact that the kid never gives the guy the message.
Yeah.
Because he also is an asshole.
Well, he's like afraid how the guy will react.
I don't think it's that. I think it's because he feels like the guy is treating him like crap and condescending to him, that it's like some sort of shitty revenge thing.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, that's entirely what I got from it.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he tell him? Why wouldn't he at least hand him the note?
Well, I mean, he wrote the note down, and then the older guy, I forget their names, Gublin or something.
It was Sergei and Pasha.
Sergei
is the older one.
Sergei shows back up, and Pasha is asleep, and he like hops up and like, he's like, oh shit, I haven't written down all this stuff, and he rushes to do that, and then he goes outside, and he's like, you can tell by the look on his face. I think that guy was a really good actor. The look on his face, he was like worried about how to say it, and then they just kind of get in, like, they start getting into their work and doing other things, and it just kind of, like, so much time passes that he's kind of like, it's too late for me to say anything now. Maybe I should just...
I think it starts that way. Mm-hmm. Like I agree with you on that. I think that, he doesn't know how to do it at first. And, the guy keeps mentioning his family, and, in the meanwhile, the note, he left it on the guy's desk, and then it, falls to the ground. So when the guy actually goes to his desk to start working, he doesn't see the note.
Right.
Which Pasha then finds the note, on the floor. But after that, or, just before that, Sergei has, smacked him around a little bit.
Right, yeah.
So that's why I totally think that at that point it became no, he's been a dick to me, so fuck him and his dead family.
Okay. Yeah, because, he left the note thinking he would see it, but it had blown off the table into the floor. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know that I see, if I read it that way, but I can see how you'd read it that way. Yeah, I mean, like it's one of those movies where there's not very many actors and there's not much dialogue, so it like really relies on them to like sell that sort of, I don't know, weird tension. And I thought they did really well.
I don't.
Really?
I thought it was boring.
Really?
It was made of boring.
Man, I loved the tension. Like I don't.
The only tension I felt was, why don't you move the camera? Like something will happen, and like a character will like get up off screen, like he's sitting on a chair, and then he gets up, and then the camera will stay on that empty chair for too long.
There were a couple instances at the very beginning of this movie where, yeah, the camera lingers, and that's something that I think is a prominent problem in a lot of like independent movies, where they think it's like really interesting to like leave the camera lingering on something after
it's not
after the scene is over.
And this entire movie is that.
I only thought it did it once or twice at the beginning and then once or twice at the end, but there was a couple lingering scenes in the middle that I thought actually worked really well. Like whenever while Sergei is still out fishing and it lingers on like the window behind Pasha, showing the water. Like I thought that like gave a good sense of like how he was just sitting there and like going over in his head like what should I do, and I thought that actually worked, but I thought it wasn't working.
Well, that one scene that you just mentioned was a time lapse scene, which they do occasionally.
Yeah,
and those kind of work, I think, to accelerate the amount of time to get across the fact that he is sitting there uncertain about what to do.
Right.
But every other time, and it happened way more than you noticed, was just, hey, look at this rock.
Oh, there's no rock.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it's a cliff.
Right.
Cliffs are just rocks.
They are mini rocks fused together with soil. Yeah, no, I mean, personally, this is the kind of movie that I can really dig, but I can also understand why everybody doesn't. I really like stuff like this where it's like there's not a lot of talking, it's kind of slow, and it's like all about the mood and the atmosphere, and I really did think both actors sold it really well.
I didn't get any mood. I didn't get any tension.
No.
There was no atmosphere that I got to it. It was just an exercise in just dragging things out and wasting 2 hours and 10 minutes on a 60-minute plot.
Right.
You know, because there were interesting things in this movie. I do think that the plot is interesting. You know, the idea of, you know, something horrible has happened to one of the characters who doesn't know.
Right, yeah.
And like, the other guy knows and just won't tell him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that sets up a very good movie. This wasn't it.
Oh. Maybe, well, I'm sure, I think it was well received and it was foreign, so there's got to be an American version coming. So maybe they'll fix it up.
Well, if there is, I've already picked the actors.
Oh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was thinking about that through the whole movie. Cause
let me guess.
I had a lot of time to think in this movie.
Let me guess.
About anything else.
Jesse from Breaking Bad is Sasha?
No, actually,
Or
no.
Pasha, I mean.
No. My first thought was James Franco.
Okay, I can see that.
But the guy I settled on is actually an actor from another television show called Terriers. His name is like James Michael Richards or Richardson or something like that. He's a really good actor, and they have similar looks.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, how about the Sergei?
Huh?
How about the Sergei?
Ray Stevenson.
I don't know who that is.
He played the Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I would just go for the two actors from Breaking Bad. Not Walt, but what's his name? The guy. He's that guy that we both love.
God damn it. I just flashed on his name for a second and now I can't think of it. He plays, fuck, I can't even think of his character's name.
No, me neither. The old guy that works.
Old guy, yeah.
That works for Gus.
Yeah. Fuck me. Because every time you and I watch Breaking Bad, you would ask who that guy is, and I would look it up every single time. I do have my pad here. I don't know if it's powered or not. I can look it up.
Oh. Man, what the fuck is his name on the show, the character?
Yeah, I'm frustrated by both accounts here.
I know. Maybe we shouldn't drink anymore. I just had the one beer. I mean, it was a pint, but still.
I only had the one beer.
Oh, man. I'm drinking water now.
Yeah. I had a root beer afterward.
There's still beer in there. Well, while you're looking that up,
I don't think there's any battery power in it.
Is it an iPad?
No, it's a tablet.
Oh, okay.
An Android.
Yeah.
A transformer.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like an iPad, but not shitty like Apple makes.
Oh.
There's no battery. Fuck. Oh well.
He's that guy.
He's that guy.
Well, huh. So, man, I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something I was going to bring up. So you thought the story just was decent, but it didn't carry the length of the film?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this needed to be not even an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think it did.
I think this would be a really good short.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think it did sort of stall, but it never lost my interest. But I do think like the first half an hour to 45 minutes were the most enjoyable part because like the building of the tension, and then when it gets to the point where okay, the tension's at its like peak,
Right.
it just kind of like, yeah, there were some stalling parts, but.
Right.
And I also would say that I'm not a big fan of the ending. Like I get where they were going with it, but
Because I don't, so explain it.
well,
Spoilers, obviously.
yeah, spoilers because Sergei finds out that eventually he does actually find out that his family is probably dead,
Right.
or in dying,
Right. Right.
And then like the ship finally shows up that that was like stuck in ice and couldn't show up for a while, but it finally shows up and like they get a helicopter and they they're gonna rescue the two guys and Sergei decides to just stay there.
Right. But even Pasha, doesn't he say that he wants to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to stay with him or something, and he sends him away and says he just needs to be alone, and I get that because after something like that, maybe you just want to be alone.
I do understand that. I mean, as a person who generally spends most of his time alone, yeah, I get that. But the way it happened, the exchange between the two, especially the fact that they also just spent half an hour trying to kill each other.
Right. But almost like accidentally, like, because Pasha was afraid that Sergei was trying to kill him, but he really wasn't. I think he just wanted to talk to him.
Right.
And like clarify things that he was pissed off, and like even whenever when he first told him, and they sort of like had their first altercation, as Pasha's running away, Sergei's like firing into the sky,
Right.
and Pasha thinks he's shooting at him. And later on, when Sergei goes to where Pasha's hanging out by himself, Pasha accidentally steps on something that makes this really loud noise, like it's some piece of glass or something.
He's also not answering.
Right.
Sergei is calling out to him.
Yeah.
And so then there is a bear threat that maybe is there.
So that's why they're both packing guns around.
Right.
And, but yeah, Sergei hears that loud noise and thinks that Pasha shot at him, so he freaks out and shoots, and like, it's like Three's Company. It's like a big misunderstanding.
I think, like, other than the boringness of the boring movie that we just watched, like, I was also disappointed, like, when they finally do, like, come together at the end and then, like, you know, to discuss what happened, you know, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That there is no discussion. Like, I don't need things spelled out for me. I kind of already know how this is going anyway.
Right.
You know, but have a fucking conversation. I mean, if you can linger on a fucking empty chair for 10 minutes, you can show two people just having a talk.
Not 10 minutes. Maybe 10 seconds, though. You mean when Pasha shows up and, like, Sergei's eating? Or
Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, there's, like, a weird subplot about, like, radioactive contamination as well.
Yeah.
And Pasha has basically poisoned Sergei with radioactive fish.
Some isotope carp.
Yeah. It's trout.
Trout, yeah.
Yeah, like you know, I wanted, I don't know, just a talk between the two characters. Because, I mean, the majority of the film, they don't interact with each other.
Yeah, right.
Because Sergei is out fishing for most of it,
Right.
and then the rest of it, like, Pasha's on the run.
We're playing video games.
Or playing video games, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, when they meet up, Sergei actually tries to talk to him.
Right.
But then Pasha just tells him that he's poisoned the fish that he's eaten, and
Right.
I guess that's a conversation killer when you
Yeah.
find out someone's poisoning you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like where you're coming from seems way off base to me, but I think I overlooked it because I just really liked the feel of the movie, and I actually really thought both actors were great at selling, you know, the situation.
Although they were good actors, but I don't think that they sold the situation. Like, I thought they were fine, like, you know, interacting with each other the few times that they did.
Right.
But you know, yeah, it was.
It could have been a lot short. It could have been a half an hour shorter, and I would have been totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'm still saying that this definitely should have just been a short movie.
Right.
So I think you can get across everything in 60 minutes max.
Yeah, 60 minutes, because, I mean, if it was much shorter, though, it would sort of lose some of the, you know, because they really try to give you the feel of, like, how long they're there and, like, how desolate it is.
I mean, you need the setup, and you need to know who they are as characters before, you know, the thing happens. It's just that I think it was way too padded out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just some things were unnecessary, even. Yeah, I don't know. It just... man, I wanted to be doing anything else but watching this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I'd watch it again. I'd wait a while, but I'd watch it again.
I never will.
Yeah. I'll pick it for a future show once you forget the title of it. Once, you know, I don't know. There's an American
So this
version.
has been our review of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was a good movie, too.
And applaud.
Oh, yeah. And I Still Know What You Did. I think that was the sequel.
Yeah, it was a sequel. I think there's even a third one.
Oh, I never saw the third one.
Yeah.
I do love those movies. All those, like, was it Dimension Films? All their
Slasher films.
pretty people horror movies. Yeah.
Now they just make shitty direct-to-DVD horror movies.
Like the third, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and countless Hellraiser remakes that feature nothing about the original movies anymore.
Yeah, that's got to be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw the first three, and after three, I was like, okay, they're done being good. I got it.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because there's an episode of Gut of Trash that hasn't come out yet. Our bonus Halloween episode that we watched with Matt Brassfield.
Oh, yeah.
We watched a terrible movie called Trick or Treat, and one of the producers on that movie is like the guy in charge of like putting out like all of those direct-to-DVD Dimension movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he kept in his
Oh, yeah.
wheelhouse.
Apparently
Yeah.
he's been doing it for like 30 years now, so... I guess he's probably the best in the business at doing that.
See? If you get it, see, it's good to be the best at something, even if it's something shitty.
Yeah, it's just, man, yeah, I'm just glad it's over now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, no.
I'm glad you liked it, though.
Yeah. I did. I enjoyed it. I recommend it if you feel like you're not sleepy.
Yeah, I did not fall asleep in it, but I've also gotten plenty of sleep today. So.
And there's not a lot, I mean, even though it's a subtitled film, there's not a lot of reading to do because there are 20-minute chunks of silence.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I mean, of no dialogue.
Right. Yeah, there's not a ton to it, which, again, is why I think it would have been way better as a short. Mm-hmm. I kind of almost wonder if it was a short at first, and he just sort of, the director,
Right. Decided to stretch it out.
Yeah.
It was written and directed by the same fella. I don't know, obviously don't remember his name. There's backwards letters in there.
Russian Geisky.
Yeah, that guy. It was, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, well, maybe we'll look that up or something. See if it was a short film.
I'm more interested in finding out who that guy is on Breaking Bad.
Well, let's look that up.
All right. Take a break?
Yeah, sure.
Because that thing that I needed to do at the beginning of the show, it's still got to do it.
It's really got to happen now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be back.
All right.
I started a joke which started the whole world crying. Oh, but I didn't see that the joke was on me. Oh no. And I started to cry, which started the whole world laughing. Oh, if I'd only see that the joke was on me. And I looked at the skies, running my hand over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, cursing my head for the things that I said, till I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I'd only seen that the joke was on me. And I looked at the skies, running my hands over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, cursing my head for things that I've said, till I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I'd only seen that the joke was on me, that the joke was on me.
And welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Hey, so you remembered the name of the dude?
I remember
the character.
I remembered his character just before we started. Still had to look up the name of the actor, though.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. What a great guy.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome. And the actor's name is Jonathan Banks.
So, yeah, so maybe he could be Sergey in the
I can see
American
that,
film.
yeah. It might be a little too old, though.
Maybe. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but yeah. I'd just like to see more of that guy and stuff.
Maybe the guy that played Bullet Tooth Tony. He'd be good. What's that guy's name?
Fuck.
I'll have to wait till the next PP break.
Vinny Jones.
Vinny Jones, okay. Yeah.
No, he's awful.
Oh, you don't like Vinny
Yeah,
Jones?
he's a terrible actor.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like him, though.
I mean, he's fine. I enjoy him in the things that he is in.
Yeah.
But he is a terrible actor.
Yeah, he's more like the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
more
yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're
No,
right.
I'm still going with Ray Stevenson. I think
Yeah.
he's awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually kind of looks like that guy a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Anyhow, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get up to anything wacky this weekend?
This
Week or weekend?
What did I do?
Any more trips to art exhibits that didn't exist?
No. Man.
Any
yeah.
follow-ups to that?
No, I still haven't heard anything about it. Well, okay, the one positive follow-up is like, I was thinking like, well, maybe they've moved because if you heard last week, I went to the Chris Ware exhibit that doesn't exist anymore in Columbus, even though it's supposed to. And I was like, well, maybe they just moved it. Maybe it's in Cincinnati or, maybe it's somewhere close to here in another museum, and I'll just drive there. Calling ahead, of course, that day. But no, I looked it up. I just Googled like Chris Ware original art exhibit, and nothing came up to tell me where it's at now. But somebody had scanned in. I'm guessing it was Chris Ware.
Right.
At super high res, the original art for the building stories they just put out, the book that came out the day before I went to the non-existent exhibit, and it is amazing. Like, I mean, you can see whiteout, you can see little notes he's written in the margins, you can see like little blue lines connecting different things, and it is awesome. And like, you can see like everything is fucking hand lettered, even all the titles, and you can see like where he like, painted some black sections in with ink, and it's incredible to see the originals, and they're like, I mean, you can zoom in, so they're way bigger than I'm sure his originals actually are.
Right.
And so that was really, really cool. I mean, I would still had rather have seen the originals in person, but
mostly just to sort of justify the gas that you
yeah, exactly. But at least that was a nice consolation, and that was the entire, like, because the exhibit was Jimmy Corrigan, the graphic novel he did in the 90s, but this is
the Spectre.
Yeah, it's based, yeah. His name is James Corrigan, isn't it? But no, actually, like, and nothing against Jimmy Corrigan, I think that's great, but I like what he's doing now better. Like, Jimmy...
He's had 12, 15 years to get better.
I actually like every issue of Acme Novel Library that's not Jimmy Corrigan better than the Jimmy Corrigan stuff. And that's nothing against Jimmy Corrigan. It's just my least favorite of Acme Novel. And so anyway, like, seeing all those online has been awesome, and I've spent like a couple hours looking at them, and like I'll just look at a page or two every time I look at my email because I've got it saved, the link. But yeah, so that's been cool.
Cool.
But yeah, that's about as exciting as my week's got. looking at artwork online. Oh, speaking of looking at artwork online, I've been watching on eBay. There's a guy, I forget his eBay ID name, but he's been selling Rob Liefeld original pages, and he's had like a dozen of them up in the last month.
Is it Rob Liefeld 69?
You know him? No, but I forget what his name is.
He is out of a job right now.
He's going to be working on Image, You're Drawing Youngblood or something.
I think he's actually doing Bloodstrike.
Bloodstrike. and Youngblood.
Well, all I know is I just got the first trade of the relaunched Bloodstrike in the mail this past week.
Yeah.
That was written by Tim Seeley and drawn by, I think the name is like Francesco Gaston or something like that. And it's kind of awesome, and that's at the end of their run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked cool. Actually, it did really look cool. I looked at the trade and thought about
Be a
buying it.
future pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. But, then I found out that immediately following that trade, Rob Liefeld is doing everything on it.
Right. You're like, I'm down.
that book anymore.
I'm out. Yeah. Well, this guy's been posting like pages from Hawk and Dove, and I almost bid. There was a issue of Hawk
new
and
Hawk and
Dove,
Dove?
the new one, yeah.
Yeah.
And it has like because
So not his good Hawk and Dove. Then,
No.
when he had potential still.
right,
Before
right,
he was squandering himself.
right. This is when he at least tries to draw feet, though. But I mean,
He tries.
it's just better when he didn't try. Yeah. But like one of the pages that the guy had for sale was one of the few pages that Rob Liefeld has ever drawn with Batman in it,
Right.
because there was an issue of Hawk and Dove recently
Yeah.
where Batman was in it. And I thought about buying it, and I was like looking at it. I mean, it's bad though. Like it's not even up to his standard. And like the bat symbol in his chest looks like it doesn't even look like a
Yeah.
bat. It looks like I don't know. And but it was going for like $160 like a day before the auction ended.
It's not too bad.
And I was like, and it had $16 shipping, and I was like, okay, I'll bid. I was typing it in. I typed in $184 because I was like, that's $200 even with shipping. Yeah, that's nothing. And then like I had typed in my bid, and I was like hovering over the word confirm with my arrow, and I was like, what am I doing? It's like in that scene in the Tom Hanks movie.
We were awful today. We cannot think of
Forrest Gump.
Okay.
It's like the scene where Jenny's like walking around on the ledge and she like talks herself back down. It was the same kind of thing. I was like, what am I doing? But I did email the seller and I was like, hey, I've noticed you had a lot of Liefeld pages up lately. I was like, do you have anything from the 90s? Because I would totally bid on something from that era. And he never responded, but he put up a bunch more pages, including like a 2-page spread from a recent Deathstroke that has Lobo on a motorcycle, and like there's some really great stuff up there right now, but I haven't bid on anything. I've been watching them all to see where they end, and I'm just kind of waiting for something older to surface. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, something from Awesome. Yeah, exactly. So how about you? Anything going on? I know last week you were up to some mischievous.
Oh yeah.
Have you been moving any furniture around this week?
I've gone down to that office a couple different times and rearranged the layout.
Good for you.
I did a thing on Thursday
Oh yeah.
that I can talk about. Fair warning. This story, I am the bad guy.
Oh okay. So this isn't you gloating.
No.
Okay.
This is a moment of
A
shame.
confession. Okay.
Yeah.
Confessions on Gutter Trash.
So Tuesday, the new Death Clock album came out.
Oh, yeah.
Death Album 3. The fake band from the show Metalocalypse, Brendan Small and Gene Hoglan. I have bought every Death Clock album that is out, and
How many of them are there? How many of them are there?
there are 3. But these are like the only physical CDs that I have bought in like a decade.
That's awesome.
Because I'm kind of lukewarm on just music in general. So if like there's something that I even want to purchase, like it's usually just I'll get an MP3 download on Amazon.
All right.
But very rarely do I want the actual physical disc And I have done that for the previous 2 Death albums, and for Brendan Small's Galacticon album that came out just this past year. And so when Death Album 2 came out, like 3 years ago, something like that, I bought it at Best Buy. I bought 2 copies because my friend wanted a copy, and I bought it for her as a gift. So Thursday, when I got home from work, I decided to run by Best Buy to buy that album.
Right.
So I walk into Best Buy, and I walk over to like the new CD section, which Best Buy has rearranged like their entire store since the last time I tried to buy a CD there.
Okay. You haven't been there in a long time.
I've been there, but never to buy a CD. Like, I'm always there to buy like something on DVD or Blu-ray, or like computer parts or something like that.
Right.
But not CDs. So like, I don't know what their CD section is even like anymore. Because it used to be massive, and now it's like 4 rows.
Wow. Yeah, it used to be like 8 aisles.
Right. Yeah. And these are like rows that are like as big as this desk.
Wow.
They
Small.
are tiny.
Right.
So, like, I go to the rock section, and then I find, like, they have Death Clock albums, but they just have the first and the second one. And so I'm looking anywhere for, like, usually they would have a new release section.
Yeah.
And it just came out Tuesday. So, like, I'm looking for the new release section. I'm looking around, and I will say this is the first time that this has ever happened to me at a Best Buy, but an employee came up to me and said, "Sir, can I help you find something?"
Wow, that's cool.
And I looked at her, and I was like, "Yes." And just at that moment, this wrinkled old bitch walks up and says, "Can you help me find the Alicia Keys CDs?" And then the employee turns around, and they go off.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
After she engaged you.
Yep. And just as I was about to ask for what I was asking for. And so I just kind of stand there, and I'm looking at the back of their heads, and I'm like, "Hey!" Nothing. I'm like, "Well, thanks for interrupting me." Nothing. "Well, hope you get hit by a car." And then I storm off. And so I am furious. Fucking furious.
Right.
And so I'm still in the Best Buy. And I'm now looking at like DVDs and stuff. Because clearly, fuck the CD section. Especially with that old fucking cunt still looking around over there. And it's this, I don't know how old she was, but I'm going to guess 70 something.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there with someone who was either her husband or son. Also of a different race, though.
Awesome.
Looked at least 30 years younger than she was. And then I see them come into the DVD section to look around, and I'm still fucking pissed. So I start following them around. And then they get to the section where all the Avengers DVDs are. And so they're looking at the Avengers stuff, and I am now, at this point, directly behind them. And I'm just standing there with my arms crossed and just fuming. And so finally, I fucking thrust my hand between them and grab a DVD. And then I start looking at the DVD, and then they turn around to look at me. And I'm just reading the back of this Avengers DVD. And then they stop looking at me, and I put the DVD back right between them. And then I walk around the aisle to the other side, and I grab a DVD and start looking at that. And, well, I pick it up, but I am staring at them. And the woman looks at me, and she's like, "What the hell is your problem?" And I let loose the dogs of hell.
Uh-oh.
And I just start yelling at her about how she interrupted me. And she was just an arrogant, rude fucking bitch. And she's like, well, I said I'm sorry. And I said, no, you fucking didn't. And I just got even more furious.
Wow.
And then I told them to go fuck themselves. I gave them the finger, and I stormed off again. And by that point, I was so full of rage that I was shaking.
Oh, man.
Like my hands were shaking, and I could barely stand.
Like adrenaline was pumping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, I should probably leave. And so I head toward the exit, and I see her and her boy toy talking to a Best Buy manager, maybe?
Right.
And, like, heading towards, like, wherever I had been standing. And I gave them the mean mug as I left and flipped them the bird and then walked out the door.
Wow. That's not your typical Best Buy experience.
No, it's not. And then from there, I went to GameSwap, where, ironically, even though I hadn't been looking for it exactly, they did have a used copy of The Avengers on Blu-ray that I bought while I was there.
All right.
But I walked in and I looked at Matt Brassfield and I said, do you have anything that I can take home with me to just fucking shatter into a powder?
He's like, Josh Weinberg?
Would have done it. Actually, he did. Because the last time that I ever got that furious, like that physically furious, where I was like in physical pain,
Right.
because I was so mad. I had been working at one of the hotels, and there was like an old busted phone that was like sitting on the counter, and I took that home with me. And then when my dad left for work, because I worked third shift, I went out into the garage and I fucking creamed that
Smashed it?
shit with a hammer.
And
And I felt really good.
yeah, I was saying, it helps.
Yeah.
You should have came in here and rocked that fucking bass. Slap some of those four chords.
Yeah.
4 strings.
Yeah.
Probably 2 chords.
Yeah, like I said, I did wind up buying a DVD while I was at GameStop, and then bought a pizza and went home, and I felt a little bit better.
I thought I don't want to jump ahead of the story, but I thought I saw the new Death Clock album sitting in your living room.
Oh, yeah. So that's the other thing, which is not so much infuriating as just annoying at this point. Because I did not have any more experiences like that at any more point in time.
It's good.
Yeah, my Hulk out moment in a Best Buy is over and done with. So Friday night, on my way home, we got out of work early. And I will preface this, before I went to the first Best Buy, I looked online and to see if they would have it. Mm-hmm. And online it says they do. And it says that it was available at the stores.
Okay.
So that's the only reason I even went there. Because otherwise I would have just bought it off of Amazon.
Right. Have it shipped right to your door.
Right. But then after that experience, I was kind of determined to like get a physical copy in my hands like as soon as possible. So I went to the Best Buy in Beaver Creek Friday night when I got off of work, and they didn't have it at all either. But like I didn't have any encounters.
Right.
Like I never even had an employee come to ask me if I was looking for anything.
See,
that is a typical Best Buy experience.
You would have been better off if they never had asked you anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. So they didn't have it, and I was like, "Well, fuck it. I guess I'll just go home and get on Amazon and order it that way."
Right.
But it was in Beaver Creek, and I didn't have anything to do Friday night anyway, so I decided to head to the mall and check out the actual record store in the mall.
Oh, there's still one there?
There is still one there.
Wow.
I wasn't sure if there was going to be one there. I figured worst comes to worst, like Hot Topic probably would have had it.
Right.
But like I don't want to go to Hot Topic if I could help it. But yeah, so I went to the Beaver Creek Mall, and they still have a record store.
Wow.
And New release section right up front. That's where it was.
$21.99.
$12.99.
Oh, hey.
Deluxe edition. Comes with a DVD.
Really? At the mall?
At the mall.
$13 CD? I'm impressed. I would have thought.
I think it was just a new release sale.
I would have thought at least $16 for any CD at the mall.
I would have bet that too. I think because I was glancing through some of their stuff, and I think the cheapest major release CD that they had was at least $17.
Right.
But I think this was just because it was out that week.
That's cool.
So yeah, finally got a copy of it.
So what does the deluxe edition have extra on?
It's got the album, which I think is 12 tracks, and then it's got a DVD which has a making of the album.
Oh, cool.
And then music videos.
That's awesome.
Which I'm guessing are just
the cartoons.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, in case the old couple is listening, do you want to say anything to them?
I think I've said enough.
I'm sorry you had that experience.
That's all right. Mostly my fault.
Yeah, well...
my reaction was entirely my fault.
You should carry one of those stress balls around with you.
But seriously, she fucking interrupted me. And like I said, your typical Best Buy experience is that no one will help you.
Right.
And so, the one time that it happens and the one time that I actually need the help,
yeah,
and I get fucking interrupted, oh man, it just
set
my blood boiling.
Because, when they're like, can I help you? You're like, wow, what is this gift from the heavens?
Right, yeah.
And then some old lady's like, I'm taking it away.
Yep.
Well, I can see how that would be disappointing.
Yeah.
So, at least there's that.
Right.
But, maybe you should have came home and played that bass guitar.
Yeah, I probably should have. I need to practice anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got the album.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I've listened to most of it. Popped it in this. That's kind of what I wanted. Why I wanted it immediately was I could, because back when I was actually buying CDs, I didn't have a CD player in my car. So I would go to stores and buy CDs that I would then have to wait until I got home to listen to.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, hey, I got a CD player in here.
I
can tear this open and then play it on my way home. And wound up listening to 7 of the tracks. Yeah.
Nice. I'm surprised you even listened to it since I had loaned you that Guided by Voices CD last week. I figured you'd still be spinning that puppy.
Oh, yeah. And it was in my car, too. In my visor where it stayed the
entire time. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so that's me being a furious, rage-filled asshole.
Oh, I'm sure it comes and goes.
And the thing is, I want to be a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get along with people.
Right.
And, and I guess more like the Hulk, I just want to be left alone.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So when confronted with other people's just assholeness, it just sets mine in motion.
You feed upon them.
Yeah. I mean, you're entirely right. If I had just been having a typical Best Buy experience where no one was helping me, none of that would have happened.
You would have just left disappointed like usual.
Exactly, yeah.
Not practically seizing with anger.
Exactly, yeah.
Let there be a lesson to you. Only shop online.
Every
safer
time I
for
go
everyone.
out, it reinforces the lesson. Never leave the house.
Yeah. Oh man, if they could deliver groceries and you could work from home, life would be perfect.
Life would be perfect, and I would be at 2,000 pounds.
I would probably sign up for that too. Unfortunately, I know it's not good, but I'd probably try it for a while.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's my big news.
Yeah. Oh. Well, shucks.
Guess I should pick a comic and we can mosey on out.
I feel like reading a comic.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. I haven't actually. I read one comic this week, and I won't spoil anything in case you haven't read it. But I read the new Billy the Kid Old Time Oddities #1 that came out. You haven't read it yet?
Have not.
Okay. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I did read a handful of comics. I just got my new shipment in.
Mm-hmm.
So I read Hawkeye number 3, Uncanny Avengers number 1, Action Comics number 13, and Happy number 1.
Oh, what'd you think of Happy? I did read that.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Curious to see where it's going.
Yeah.
It's a little vile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I feel like that's where he's going is like half of it is like the super cartoony thing, and you can tell it's going to get more cartoony.
Right.
And then there's like more expletives than
Anything else he's ever written.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like Scorsese meets multiplied by Ennis.
Right.
As far as expletives go in that
Times
book.
Tarantino.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. It's only, was it like four
Issues,
yeah.
Grant Morrison and Derek Robertson. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really promising.
Yeah. I'm excited to read more. Hawkeye is it's still my favorite book that Marvel is putting out right now.
Nice.
3 issues in. Yeah.
Isn't that like saying that's like your favorite disease that you carry?
No.
Yeah. It's a little bit worse than that? Okay. I'm just not a Marvel fan. At least current Marvel.
All right. You should read Hawkeye.
Yeah?
The Defenders and Ultimate Spider-Man.
You know, I did read the first issue of the Defenders.
X-Force and X-Factor.
I did read the first issue of Defenders, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. And Daredevil. You should read that as well.
I read the first 2 and I gave up.
You should read beyond the first 2 because the second one is the worst comic I'd ever read.
Yeah.
I
I think I bought the first 7 before I started reading it, so I have 5 issues that I've never read, so
You should go read those.
maybe I will.
Marvel puts out good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just like everything else. There's good stuff and there is shit.
But it seems like the good stuff is only good so long as the editors can hold off the crossover and hold off the events and whatever.
Entirely. You are 100% correct.
Right.
And and all the good stuff will also be canceled.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it's in there somewhere.
But it is out
Okay.
there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, this book that I'm going to pick is a book that I also read this week. It is not a Marvel or a DC book.
Awesome. I'm in.
It is not even Image or Dark Horse or IDW or
Dynamite?
or Dynamite or
Whoever publishes Sonic the Hedgehog?
right. I believe that's Archie.
Yeah, I think it's Archie.
This isn't even Top Shelf or First Second or anything like that. It's in fact nothing I had ever heard of before.
Ooh, cool.
This comic is called a graphic novel, if you will. It's called The Now of Brown.
The Now of Brown.
Yep.
Okay, never heard of it.
It is written and drawn by Glenn Dillon, the brother of Steve Dillon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
More famous for doing Preacher and The Punisher and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm down with this.
Alrighty.
Was it a single issues collected, or is it just a graphic
It
novel?
is a graphic novel.
Okay.
I don't want to get too much into it, but it is his first comic book work in 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what he did before?
Probably the biggest thing that he ever worked on before was he did that Egypt series with Peter Miller.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sweet.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, buddy.
This might even, might be the only thing he's done since then.
The Now of Brown?
Now of Brown.
That's an odd title.
Yeah. It'll make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's now NAO.
Oh, okay. Well, then, there you go. Google it.
Yeah.
See if you can get your local comic shop to get you one.
There you go. Order it off Amazon like I did.
Oh.
I only did it because I needed free shipping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. That's what you're going to say when they arrest you and the TV cameras come in. And it's not going to apply to what the situation is at all, and it's going to be a memorable quote. That's awesome.
All right.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. All right. We'll talk about it next week then.
Sweet.
Goodbye.
Later on.
Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.